Hello and welcome to the Back to School Night presentation for geometry for the 2022-2023 school year. My name is Jesky Glenn, but your students call me Miss Glenn.
Hi, this is Miss A.
And we're so excited to welcome you to our virtual presentation. So let's begin. On the first day of school, I invite all of your students to introduce themselves to me, tell them a little bit about themselves. I want to get to know your students as humans as well as mathematicians, so I also introduced myself to them on the first day, so I shared a very similar slide with them. So I'm going to do the same for you. My family and I grew up in Southern California. That is the lovely humans in the top left corner for you all. I grew up in Southern California, and then I attended University of Oregon for my undergraduate degree, where I majored in math and minored in computer science. While I was there, I was eating, sleeping, and breathing mathematics. I tutored math and was a college TA for math classes while I was there. I have a huge passion for the subject. After college, I attended grad school at Stanford to receive my master's in education. So that is the other two images that you see. I also put this on here to let students know that I am a huge football fan for college sports. And that I like, pretty much any and all sporting and events. So I invite them I ask that they invite me to those sporting events if and when possible, and also know that I am fairly patient and understanding when they have events that would prevent them from being in my class.
So my name is Monica Ardenay, but students call me Miss A. In the middle here is a picture of me and my family from when I graduated with my master's, which I got from San Jose State in special education. I went to CSU East Bay for my bachelor's, where I studied human development, but focused more on the early childhood development. I put that picture of Disneyland in the corner because Disneyland is my favorite place to go. I try to go there often. And in that bottom right corner is a little nod to Harry Potter, because that is my favorite book and I still read it often till this day. So a little bit about the class. These are the units of study that we will be going through for this whole year. We are currently in Geometry Foundations. That's our first unit. And as you'll see, we'll go into more in depth with more of those units for geometry. So next we'll be in transformation. Then we will be learning about parallel line angle relationships, constructions, triangle congruence and proof, special quadrilateral symmetries, midpoints and diagonals and proof, similarity and proof, right triangle trigonometry, measurement and modeling, area and volume, probability, and circles. This is our grading scale for this year. So as you see, it might be a little different than your students' other classes. So to get an A in here, you need an 80%. Is the minimum up to 100%. That'll get you an A in this class. For B, it's 60% to 79.9. C is 40% to 59.9%. A D is a 20% to 39.9%, and an F is a 0% to 19.9. So we changed this grading scale for our class just because of how our grading is and the point structure. So this is a more equitable way for grading in this class.
The homework for the geometry course is quite different from the traditional homework, so I want to make sure that we highlight it here. We want homework to be something that allows students to have additional practice, receive feedback and support on the concepts that they're learning in their class, but hopefully not be a punitive thing that then requires students to spend many hours over a quick span of time to get things completed. So for that reason, here's how our homework works. There are 2 sections to our homework, foundations and then the application extensions. These sections match the types of sections that we have on our tests, so it's helpful and a preparation for our exams. The foundation section is the first page, front and back, and it's the concepts that we learn in class. It's a practice for students. It is not the part that is graded. It is an extra review for students. The second page of the stapled packet is the application extension section. It contains questions that require students to write and justify their thinking. It often combines multiple learning goals from the units, and this is the section that will be submitted and graded, and I will explain how on the next slide. So here's the process. Here's how homework works. On a Monday, students will receive a homework assignment, both the foundations and the application extension section. They will have a week to work on it. Thursday, an answer key for the foundation section is posted on Schoology with the expectation that students work on the homework throughout the week so that way they can check the key on Thursday and then come to tutorial or flex on Friday to answer any ask any questions, get questions answered about the homework, and so that way students are working on the homework throughout the week rather than over the weekend. Then the following Monday, so a full week later, students will come into class to complete an application extension question, or with the application extension questions completed, and they will have a chance to sit, discuss their answers with a group of peers, change their mind, convince others, all of that good stuff. And then in class, they will rewrite and do a second draft of a specific problem from the application extension section and submit that as their homework. This year, to ensure that students come to class prepared, occasionally it will be the case that we immediately collect the application extension section and grade their first draft. But more regularly, students will be given an opportunity to do a second draft so that way their writing is at its absolute best by the time it's something that we are then grading and giving them feedback on. Speaking of grades and tests, there are section breakdowns for tests that work just like the homework. So there's the foundation section and there's the application extension section. We also then have practice work, which is mostly homework with the occasional in-class assignment that could be graded, and then the growth project, growth portfolio. Broken down into these chunks to match the grading scale. This is essentially 2 letter grades, and each of those sections is 1 letter grade of the grade scale. So that's how the grading breakdown will work. These 2 section headers match what you will see on the test. So there's a foundations portion of the test and then an application extension portion of the test. The foundations portion is the largest section. It is supposed to be the core content of our class. And there are 2 ways where revisions will happen there. Exit tickets after an assessment will allow for 2 questions to be revised by everyone in class. And then additional revisions will be available to students during tutorials in the weeks following a test being returned, all the way up to an A and 80%.
So keys to success for students in this class. Communication is key. If your student needs help, if they know that they need help, they have some options. So they can either email us, Miss Glenn or I. They can come to tutorial, which was previously called Flex, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So they can either go to Miss Glenn's class in A203, or they can come to my class in C205 for tutorial and get help. They can also go to the FCS for SFS for free after school. They can go to SFS for free after school tutoring. That's in room 76 from 1:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and from 2:30 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday. So those are the 3 ways that your students can reach out and get help that they need. How to contact us. So you can email us at jesky_glenn@fuhsd.org and at monica_ardenay@fuhsd.org. We usually will respond within 24 hours on work days and at our earlier convenience on the next work day if it is sent on the weekend. We want to make sure that your student is advocating for themselves. So if you and your child are both sharing the same concern, then we recommend that the student reaches out and emails us on behalf of both of you guys. But if you have a concern that is separate from your child, then always feel free to email us. But again, we really want your student to practice that self-advocacy. So we want this year to be a positive learning experience, which we know is kind of difficult during the tumultuous times. Life will happen, and we know that absences will occur, but um, we understand and we expect this to happen. So we will be giving students grace and having a lot of patience with them when they're out. So our first priority is just to make sure that everyone is safe and healthy. We hope you see yourself as part of our teaching team for your students, and we want to work with you to help students succeed. So don't forget, if you guys have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us on our emails on those previous slides. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and thank you for visiting our class.